Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something today, and I'm Donna. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been around for a while, welcome back. Well, I'm taking a little break from my canning and all the things that I've had to do out there in the backyard, harvesting the vegetables and doing my canning, and I'm going to go out here and access the work that needs to be done on the front garden at this time of the year, and I thought I'd bring you with me. Now out here we've got a bunch of little gardens. Donald and I are on 1/4 of an acre in the city, so we don't have a lot of land, but we've got a lot of little gardens on what land that we have. Now if you come out the front door here, we've got a left-hand garden and a right-hand garden that's on each side of our house, and it's here in the front. Now going down the sidewalk on the left-hand side, you see where we let our kids play. We call this the fairy garden because it started out having little fairies, but as the kids have played and the boys have incorporated their toys, well, of course, there's other things going on here. And that's a delight. It's right here in front of the house, and we keep them up close to the house when we're out here working on the garden because they're littles and we don't want them near the road. So we've got what we call the fairy garden right here, and this morning it is beautiful with some morning glories. Some simple morning glories growing here in the fairy garden this morning. It was a hazy day when I came out here earlier this morning, and it looks like it's going to clear up. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like today. Now in this garden I have chocolate mint right here. I have clematis that's growing up this trellis, and there's climbing roses. I had a bout with Japanese beetles this year, and they have really took a toll on my garden, but they didn't get too much. They just got a portion. I gave some time to getting out here with a bottle of water, and I would collect these Japanese beetles off of everything by hand until I got the majority of them off. And so there's not as much damage as there could have been. There's some here on the angel trumpets, but I got most of those off. Now right here in this garden we've been working. These are the roses that are coming back, the knockout roses. There's a few that's making a show here at the end of the season, and they are beautiful. I'm enjoying those this morning. Donald and I have got out here and cut out quite a bit of the weeds. I cut back this Statice Greggy. I cut it back. Donald planted a new one. We planted a red one. This one here is blue. But it was so massive that it was just time to take it back some, so that some of the other plants could get some light. He planted this new little plant. I've got purslane growing everywhere. This is a wildflower, and it's edible, and it's beautiful to me, and it's also very delicious to eat. So I've got that growing in a lot of different places. But in this garden, which would be the left-hand garden from when you're coming out the steps, there is a lot going on. I have got to get out here and weed. I've left some of the echinacea here. I've left that for the birds. There's some beautiful birds that come out here and they love these echinacea seeds. So I've left 2 stands of the echinacea with the seeds so that the birds could enjoy those. I've got to get out here and do some hand weeding. I don't spray a lot on this garden. I don't spray anything for weeds, and so I have to hand pull, and that's a time-consuming task. I have to hand pull the most weeds that I can out of this garden so that I can go ahead and plan to put the mulch layer. Now every year, Donald and I put down a layer of mulch. Some kind of mulch goes out here in these gardens. Last year he was able to get free leaf mulch from the city. This year, we're not sure if they're offering that or not, but we'll find out. And I'm thinking it probably needs a good layer of chips, decomposed chip mulch out here. But I'll plan to do that. We'll be planning to put the mulch layer out. Cut back some of the things that are drying up at this time of the year. There's more purslane growing in the arborvitae bush that we've got here on each side of the porch. But in general, things are looking pretty good. There are things that's coming to the end of their season and they're beginning to dry up or furl up. There's still some passion fruit growing right here. I may yet have another harvest of these. If you look in my videos, you'll see I have made jelly from these passion fruits. We've got somebody enjoying the garden this morning. Isn't that pretty? Little butterfly on this zinnia. That's pretty this morning. We've been getting quite a bit of rain. I've been happy with the rain that we're getting this year. It came inconsistently, you know, it would be long dry spells and then we would have rain, but I'm thankful for the rain that we've had. There's a lot of work that needs to be done out here. We are going to be transferring our passion flower to the backyard because it grows so prolifically, it will just take over. And so in order to just make space and not have that passion flower to just take over this morning, I finally got something to grow in this hanging basket that wasn't dried up. Still have passion flowers. I guess this thing will probably produce all the way up until frost. But it's so prolific, we're going to dedicate its own arbor in the back. We're going to make its own trellis so that it can go up it and try to kind of regulate this passion flower into one area so that it's not taken over. It has runners off the roots, so you can see I have passion flower all the way out here, and it would take over this whole area if we didn't get out here and work on it and prevent that from happening. So that's something we'll be doing. It's moving this passion flower to the backyard on its own arbor. And then I'd like to have let the echinacea grow and sage and stuff that needs full sun. I'd like to let that grow out here in the middle garden. So that's an upcoming project. And so far our plans are to weed thoroughly, especially this left-hand garden, to put a layer of chip mulch down, mulched, to get out here and move the passion flower plant, move it to its own arbor in the back. And that's just about what we've narrowed it down to. There's an upcoming project, stay tuned for that right over there in the potting station, the potting section of the gardens. That'll be an update soon on what's going on over there. Still a lot of beauty in the garden. Still a lot out here to get out here and I'm gonna harvest a pinch of this sage to take in the house this morning for cooking. Still a lot to enjoy. Thank you for joining me today on my little garden update, my little front garden tours. Out here accessing what kind of work we need to get done and the things that we've got to make plans for. If we don't plan to do it, we won't do it. We got to work it in to a busy schedule. Thank you for joining me, and like always, until next time.